So I met Chris when we were in Miami. First time I met you. Cheers, brother.
Cheers. You had a cool hat on?
Again, it's about selling and branding. I had a wood-brimmed hat, my fedora, that made by the Dapper Renaissance, a buddy of mine who was a paralegal at a friend's firm. And I saw Ed Reed get inducted into the Hall of Fame. And he was wearing this wooden fedora. I was like, what the heck is this? This is amazing. You know, a big fedora guy, Ed Reed, you know. So, like, I found the guy. He ended up working for a buddy of mine in San Diego. So I made friends with him. He's made me like 6 or 7 hats. He actually left the practice of law and it's called art. I mean, he did a post yesterday where he did a Steelers hat for somebody. Somebody wanted a Steelers, like, fedora that he created, and then somebody wanted a Cowboys one, and I threw up in my mouth a little bit after he did the Cowboys one. But yeah, that conversation piece, and I met Chris in Miami, clicked right away with you, and we found out we're both Penguins fans, huge Penguins fans. We were joking earlier that he should have named his dog Sydney, but named the dog Whiskey, and I'm equally as proud.
So we also have a Sydney.
You have a Sydney?
So we have Sydney named after Crosby, and then Whiskey is obviously just after Whiskey.
Oh, that's good, man.
Yeah.
I should have followed your foot. My dog's name were Lulu and Joey, but I can't say the real name of my dog is Joie. My wife likes French. I can't say it.
Joie.
So I just say Joey.
I would say Joie.
They're both girls, and like my daughters all think that Joey's a boy because we're yelling at Joey all the time. She's very mischievous. So yeah, we met, and like a few months later, he came out to my house. We went to a Penguins Kings game. Yeah, I'm a big Pens fan. So
yeah, it was to brag on Bob a little bit. It's fucking amazing. Like, we met in Miami. We had a good time, talked for an hour, but you know, most of these like conferences, you shoot the shit for somebody, they don't even know who you are the next day. Bob and I stayed in touch. Bob literally invited my wife and I out to his home in Manhattan Beach. It was unreal. I've never been to Manhattan Beach.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing city. Met his whole family. Is awesome. Who picked us up at the airport?
Bryce, law firm rides. He's the best.
I love Bryce. Picks us up at the air, like, first class. Like, it was such a great experience. Sweet. So appreciate that so much.
Man. Cheers. This is a good pour. So I've never had this one.
It's good.
What's your favorite Texas whiskey?
Ooh. I'd probably say TX whiskey. It's weird because it's not
I
like...
don't know TX whiskey.
So it's just a big TX. It's not like a normal thing that... It's probably not a popular opinion, like, but it's so easy to drink. Like, that's the one I'll go to because, you know, sometimes you just, you know, if you're just drinking a good amount, like, you want an easy drink. It has like a hint of like chocolate at the end. And it's just the easiest drink on a, you know, whatever day of the week it is if you're just chilling.
Like a Tuesday morning at Dave & Buster's, it's like that kind of drink.
Exactly.
But whenever you saw, I mean, when they wanted to order the whiskey and a little bit of Diet Coke, I mean, to me, that's like a kick in the nuts.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
Not to mention Diet Coke is just the worst.
It's the worst.
Like, there will be a lawsuit against Diet Coke, and I will be the first one to get
I
everyone
like
to sign
this.
up.
So if you guys could pick up every Diet Coke.
Oh yeah, I would.
But how do you guys stay ahead of the trend? Because I feel like, because I don't do mass torts. We do a lot of what we call in the industry single events, because I like helping individual people in individual car crashes or sex abuse cases or whatever. And I know you guys are doing a lot of that now. You're helping individual consumers. But how do you stay abreast on like these trends or what's about to happen? Because when it happened with Camp Lejeune, somebody had to be able to legislate and lobby to have a bill to finally compensate these families that have cancer and people die.
Yep.
How do you stay abreast of this stuff?
You have to be trusted, really. We have key litigating partners that know that they can tell us something, and we're not going to go market it on social media and blast until we have permission to, right? Like, we have key relationships of lawyers who are just, that's all they're doing. They're studying this kind of thing to find out what the next best case is going to be. So a lot of the times they like to keep that information secret, because once they tell everybody about it, marketers can completely ruin a case.
And this is my frustration is I feel like it becomes so oversaturated with people just trying to do a money grab for some of these rather than doing the right thing. Like when you guys got in Camp Lejeune, you got into the best law firms actually on the steering committees to like help these individuals. Other folks I see are just grabbing cases to try to broker them or make a few bucks.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, marketers and other lawyers ruin these litigations because they, are signing up crap. They're trying to, bring the crap cases in to this docket, and they completely risk it. Whereas like a litigating firm can come to me and say, hey, I'm really excited about this. I don't know the market out there. Can you advertise for us? And I'll let you know when we're want to take on investing lawyers. And we say, okay, and we actually do that, right? Instead of saying, hey, sales team, go pitch this to 80 different people. It's a new hot thing, right? And that completely can screw up a litigation. And we've earned the trust of many of these litigating lawyers. So there's probably 10 cases out right now that I love and that our firms love that I'm not going to say a word about because, they trust me with that information. So it's very key.
But you feel like because the work that you've done, been boots on the ground, has actually changed a lot of laws for consumers because it's been a lot more exposure on the problem.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you guys? You're coming from. You're in Austin here in Texas, but you guys are doing nationwide stuff. So how do you have this nationwide ability to do these things? I know it's digital, but how do you? The one was North Carolina for Camp Lejeune. There's different places. Like, how do you get entrenched in that community and know what those people that were affected are looking for?
It's really about what happens after the sign up, because these people are looking. They see all the ads on TV. 95% of the world hates lawyers. Like they just can't stand them, and they love insurance companies for some reason.
It's because they got a lot more money to lobby to say they love it.
Funny commercials and whatever.
They got Aaron Rodgers, which I don't think they should put up anymore. But.
Aaron Rodgers used to do some work with a lawyer, trader, but but yeah, it's tough. But it's how you treat them after the call, because like we can do our best to one is spread awareness, right? I think that's the most I'd say satisfying part of my job is, unfortunately, these terrible things happen to people. They get cancer. They have no idea why. One day they go to the doctor and they say, you have breast cancer or you have ovarian cancer. And they're like, life-changing, I have to do chemo now. Their whole lives are turned upside down. They have no idea. And then all of a sudden we find a link to a bad drug or bad product and we're advertising saying, do you have breast cancer? And did you take this? Because it could be a link, right? So we're creating awareness to people who have no idea. And yeah, it's not curing their cancer by them seeing our ad.
But sometimes with the getting it out there, it lets people catch things a lot earlier or be aware on different things or
exactly.
be notice.
Unfortunately, Ozempic is a huge topic and it's causing horrible things for people. So if you've used Ozempic for a good period of time, you still aren't diagnosed with anything, you should monitor it very, very closely because right? So it could be preventative. But also, for people who are already diagnosed with a horrible disease, at least you know what it was from. You could hopefully get compensation from it. A little bit more peace than just not knowing why this horrible thing happened to you.